Olá, sincericídio! Você não sabe o que a gente tem aqui para você. A gente tá meio eufórico, assim. Porque é uma coisa maravilhosa. Você sabe que a nossa próxima leitura do nosso Clube do Livro, nossa leitura coletiva, é Escolhendo Theo, da Victoria Aveline. É o nosso primeiro Alien. E a gente está com a autora aqui. Ela concordou em dar uma entrevista conversando com a gente e contigo sobre a criação desse mundo de Clecania, como ela chegou nessa história, como a formação dela em arqueologia, impressionante, né, Vânia? A gente tomou um susto, né? Como essa formação em arqueologia ajudou ela a formar essa sociedade matriarcal, né, que gira em torno da
De
evolução
manter
da
a
espécie.
espécie. Na verdade, manter a espécie. Foi um ato de emergência, mas a gente não está querendo dar spoiler. A gente está querendo introduzir, né, apresentar a autora, mas a gente tem que falar os nossos créditos iniciais, né, Moira?
Sim, temos, olha. Então, bem-vinda ao Sincericídio, eu sou a Moira, comigo a Vânia Nunes, a gente está sempre no mundo dos livros, a gente está te convidando a ler um romance alien chamado Escolhendo Theo, é um cabeça de série da Victoria Aveline, é a primeira vez que a gente lê um super contemporâneo no Clube do Livro, que geralmente a gente fica nos clássicos, a gente está dando uma movimentada, né, no nosso leque. E a primeira vez que a gente entra no Alien. Você vai encontrar aqui embaixo todos os nossos links, os links da autora, não só desse livro que a gente está lendo, mas os outros links dela. Se você quiser entrar em contato, virar fã e conversar com ela, o Patreon e as redes sociais, tá? E as nossas redes sociais aqui embaixo. Nessa conversa, além da criação do mundo, a gente vai falar um pouco sobre como ela gosta dos homens que ela cria, né? Uma preferência. A gente vai
Nada
falar
reclamar.
um pouco.
Nada reclamar.
A gente vai falar um pouco sobre a questão de ser autora, de como é essa evolução, como é a evolução dela nessa série, nessa criação, e até os planos que ela tem para o futuro. Então, eu acho que é um mimo,
né? É um
mimo
mimo
para
e
você.
é uma forma de, na cara dura, te cativar. Primeiro, para tirar todo o ranço com relação a um livro contemporâneo, caso você só leia clássicos, e especialmente entrar de sola, de cabeça, de corpo inteiro nesse mundo alien. E você vai ver que tem mulher muito cabeção escrevendo livro com uma intenção para além do simples romance. Então, eu acho que essa foi uma das maiores surpresas para mim nessa entrevista. E a gente quer compartilhar com vocês agora. Bora lá, Moira.
Hi, Victoria! How are you?
Great, how are you?
Yeah, we're fine. We are so excited to have you here because let me try to explain what's happening here.
Yeah.
We have this channel called Sincericídio Literário, and we talk about culture, pop culture, and gossipy, and royalty. We love to talk about royalty, especially the British one. Yeah. And we talk a lot about books because it's our passion. I work as translator, proofreader, and copy desk. And Moira is an author too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. She writes contemporary and historical romance.
Ooh, historical.
So we create a book club online, and we we really read all the books. We split in chapters. with the audience, and we talk about the stories, the plot, the time that everything happens.
And
But
we do anything from classicals to contemporary, or Brazilian, or whatever.
foreigner,
No prejudice at all.
no. But your book is the first alien romance.
Woo!
Yes.
Bringing in a new genre.
Yes. We even have a bookmark.
Oh, hey, look at him.
Yes.
So cute.
She
So
created
cute.
for
Very cute.
all the books.
Oh,
So
that's so cool.
it's a huge responsibility. Yes, because we know this kind of book has a lot of preconception and prejudice,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
So I would like to ask you first, how you start? Who is Victoria, and how you start writing books?
I started actually kind of late in life. I think a lot of writers that I meet, they've been writing for forever, and they always knew that it was something that they wanted to do. And I always really enjoyed creating stories in my head and playing them out, but I never had the confidence to write them down. I didn't think that I would be any good at that, at like the technical aspects of it, you know? So I just never did, and they just stayed in my head. And then eventually I had a story that I couldn't get out of my head, and I was like, well, I'll try and write it down. I have an hour here and an hour there, and if it's no good, no harm, no foul. And so I wrote it down.
Stays in the drawer.
Huh?
Stays in the drawer. If it's no good.
Well, so actually I started writing it, and I got maybe halfway through, and then I had some life stuff that happens, and so I put it away, and I didn't look at it like it in a drawer, and I forgot about it, and then I lost it, and I was like, oh, well, I guess that's the end of that. And then like a couple of years later, I was looking through my computer, and I happened to find it in a file that I forgot I created, and I opened it and I read it, and I was like, you know what? This book is
That's
actually
kind of good.
pretty good. So,
It was the Theo's story.
and it was Theo's story, yeah. I decided to take more of a real try at writing, and so I took a bunch of classes, and I did a bunch of online conferences just to make sure, you know, technically that the writing was okay, and that wasn't going to stop people from wanting to read it, because I thought the story was good. I just didn't know about the sentences. And I published that right at the beginning of 2020, right when quarantine happened. And so everybody was stuck inside, and they were all kind of looking for an escape. And luckily, I got a lot of eyes on my book that way, and I was able to just keep writing. So that's kind of how that happened. And I don't know.
That was a nice escape then, because reality was so chaotic that going somewhere else, another galaxy, was like a good idea.
I know. I think it was not a great time, but for this specific thing, it was a lucky timing for me, because people were more willing to take a chance on something that was a little bit outside of their comfort zone at that time.
Exactly. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, but I would like to know now, why alien romance? Why not historical or contemporary? Why you go so far through the galaxy?
Well, so I'm a huge romance reader also. Like, for my whole life, I've been a very, very voracious romance reader. So I've read, historicals. I think, like many of us, were my entryway into romance. They were my favorite. And then I started realizing that paranormal existed. And then, KU, Kindle Unlimited, I found alien romance. And it was really only there for a really long time. I mean, I don't know of any traditionally published work that it was alien romance at that time. And so I started reading that. And what I really, really loved about sci-fi romance was that there were no limits to what you could do. So in historical, there's a set of guidelines that you should be sticking to, right? You need to have some kind of historical accuracy. It needs to be set in a time period. The language needs to be just so. With paranormal, there's an expectation of like vampires, witches, like in fantasy, orcs, you know, there's expectations in every genre. And at the time I was interested in sci-fi, there were no expectations because there was nothing to base it off of. You could have, you know, vampires on a planet in space. You could have elves mixed with the vampires. You could have a contemporary just set on another planet. It could be in a spaceship. You could really do anything that you wanted. So there's no boundaries. So you can really write whatever you want and you can create whatever world you want to create. And that really appealed to me because my background was in archaeology. And so the evolution of cultures, the idea of creating the evolution of a different society based on different...
Excuse me, sorry to cut you. You study archaeology. No. You study archaeology? Yeah. Oh my God. So cute.
It was really cool. And I really like archaeology, but what I really loved about it was, you know, understanding how we got to be where we are, like how cultures evolved, what part of what makes a civilization, what makes a society, how some things drop off as other things become more prevalent, like technology, how some things stick around even though they're very rudimentary. You know, I really love creating worlds and creating cultures. So I think sci-fi was the perfect genre to be able to do that.
Yeah, I was going to ask you a bit later when we got really into Theo about how did you create this world? And then you kind of answered that because I know Theo is just the first one. We call it Sirius Head. Like it's the first that sets the world. And we don't have all the answers yet. Because the plot, I mean, the bigger plot is still developing. But it's kind of, how can I put it? It feels like when we're gonna step up in the series, that this evolution thing is gonna be maybe not the center, but the most important thing in this world. Am I wrong?
The evolution of the world, that plot line being very important.
Being from Clecanians to humans, or from humans to Clecanians, how they are connected through DNA or whatever.
Can you repeat the question? I mean, I don't know if I understand.
Yeah, in my head, it's like you gave us just a hint of how Clecanians and humans are connected. There's something about DNA, but it's not very clear yet. I don't know if you still didn't have that figured out when you started Theo. And then it's something that you're working on while you're writing the rest of the series. So, but I got the feeling that it's going to be one of the major plots.
Because she didn't read the rest of the series, so she knows nothing, and I cannot say it's spoiler.
Let me tell you, I have to be at the same level as the people who's gonna read this in the book club.
Yeah, fair.
I can't hold spoilers.
Okay, so
I blur them out, so I'd rather don't read it.
So that will be a big part of the plot in the future books. And it starts out, I think, the history and the interactions between humans and Clecanians and like humans in the universe. It starts out more subtle, I think, earlier in the books where Earth just exists. They know about it now. They're trying to figure things out. but then the interconnectedness of the two planets and how they'll interact in the future starts to become more of a plot as the series goes on. It's actually probably the biggest part of the plot in the later books. Yeah. So, and then for the interaction of how Clecanians and humans are connected, there's, in a lot of science fiction, there's like a few different avenues that people take for like how aliens and humans are connected. Like in Star Trek, there's I can't remember what it's called, but it's like the one seed idea, where all of the like species across the universe were all created from one seed, basically, that got dispersed everywhere. So that's like a portion of the reasoning for this one, but I haven't gone into how that happened exactly yet. But basically, it's I can't remember exactly what it's called, but there's a term for it where it's like the one seed theory or something.
So this world, this Clecania world, it comes from this, or did it come from the archaeology background? How did you create this?
Oh, well, I think both. The world, you know, a lot of my world building is done in reverse of what you think. So rather than start out with a world that I already know that I want to write about, I start out with like a scene that I want to happen, characters interacting, and then I ask, how does the world look in order for these characters to do this, basically? So my first thought for Theo was the scene where they're in the kitchen right after she gets there. She doesn't want to be there. He doesn't want to be there. They're now married. She doesn't think he can understand her. He secretly can understand her. And she says that was the first scene I ever thought of.
Wonderful. Oh my goodness.
So that's the first scene that
I would ask
is that so?
about your writing, how you writing, how long you take to writing a book? A book like that, how long? 2 or 6 months? How long?
For Theo? Or now?
In general.
Yeah, in general.
Earlier on for Theo and Luca and Verico, it was a lot faster, maybe like 6 months. But now I take like a year. I wish I could go faster, but I can't. I think now, because we're at book 8, 7, 8. And the plot is continuing. It's a lot harder. It takes a lot longer because I have to make sure that I'm adding in all of the enough information for new readers to be able to follow along, but also not info dump, so make it feel enjoyable still. So it takes longer now, I'd say, than it did earlier. And I think I'm just more critical now. I think when you first start writing, you just have this like, you just spew out everything that you want to say, and you're just so excited, and there's so much, and then the more that you learn about how you're supposed to do things, the slower it slows you down, you know.
And about the second issue in the books, it's, for me, it's the political one. It's so important, this kind of the part of the story. So we will have a lot of surprise about that, because I'm so excited. I usually don't like political issues, but it's so cool the way you're going through with this story. So we will have more surprise, good surprise, please.
We'll see.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's funny because I didn't really like political issues either, and yet I'm somehow writing about them. I feel like you have to, I think, at some level when you're writing a sci-fi where two species are interacting, you kind of have to address how they're going to interact and like the political issues. But I usually don't like that either. But I think in this book it makes sense. In these books, it makes sense.
We get so many things to ask. Will we already jump into Theo? Do you have any other?
Yeah, let's go. Let's talk about the mating thing because I know you're anxious to ask her.
I was. First, the tube thing is marvelous. Like, I don't think there's anyone in the world who wouldn't want to have a tube of their own. Like,
so you can feel everything in your body. So yes.
Generally, I say that I would like those kind of plastic surgeons that you sleep fat and you wake up thin. The tube is perfect for that.
Yeah,
and the translator that's implanted and it can be updated, that would be fantastic. But about the mating thing, only men can mate.
No.
I mean, the women, the Clecanian women, they can mate too.
Yes.
And I got the idea that Jade mated. I don't know if first or with Theo, because she felt something weird when she saw him. It was all those beautiful males, but he was the one that she got all hot about. So I got the idea that she kind of mated. Am I wrong?
Yeah.
Am I wrong? Yes, no.
Yeah, no, I never explicitly say it, but in my mind, the humans, because they are still partially Clecanian, right? Like they're descended from Clecanians, they still have like the instinct inside of them to a lesser degree, but they can't produce the marks and they don't their eyes don't change, obviously, and they don't have the kind of life or death problems that Clecanians do, where when they meet their mate and they have their mark show up, if they're not together with them, they really will get sick and eventually, probably die. So humans don't have that, but I still feel like they have a latent instinct inside of them for it. So throughout the series, I feel like you see the women feeling that or acknowledging that, but they're not as like beholden to it as Clecanians are. So yeah, I think she did too.
Yeah, that's very exciting because the women fight against this instinct to feel attracted to the man. Yeah, especially my favorite, sixth hand.
Yeah.
They fight all the time.
Yeah.
He's really grumpy, completely grumpy, but he's very loyal to his people. And I believe this kind of work of him that's attract her to him.
Yeah. I think he's just such a sad, damaged guy.
Yeah.
He's great.
Oh my God.
He was kind of sad and damaged too.
That's how I like my men, sad and damaged.
Yeah.
Feiho too, when he's a little bit sad. I think they're all a little bit sad too.
Yeah.
But I personally, I enjoy the man in my MF romances to be more if they both felt the mating bond equally and in the same way, where's the conflict? It would be really difficult to set up romances where they want to be apart if they like each other and they both feel the mating instinct and they can't be away from each other. It would make for very short books, I think. So I enjoy having it be having them experience that mating instinct differently. I think it gives me more opportunities to make interesting, like, conflicts and create interesting tension with characters. So
yeah, about this thing that the women always resist. We always resist something or everything all the time. And I got the idea on this first book that women are very important in this world, in this society, but it's still very misogynistic. It's like the few men that we see interact with Jade, they are very forceful. Can I say that?
Yeah.
It's like they don't give her much chance to explain herself. I don't know if it's because she's a foreigner.
Yeah, I think that, sorry.
Or because the women power is something that's not really accepted. I know we're going to see a queen somewhere in the future, but she's not here. And I don't know, did I get it wrong? It's really still misogynistic in this starting of the series?
So I think for these books, I don't know that I would say misogynistic exactly, just because we have the queen and we do see that the women have a lot of power, but the men are still pretty pushy. They're still, pretty brutal. But I would say for this particular book, for the book that you read, it's more because she's human. And so there's a lot of people that would think of her as lesser in terms of intellect and experience, and especially because Earth in this world is considered like a planet that's not even good enough to know that other planets exist. So I think more than her being a woman, it's about her being human.
Okay.
And I think as the series progresses, you see, I mean, the men always kind of act like that because that's how men act. But I think at the end of the day, a lot of major decisions and harm that might come to a woman in a misogynistic society happens from villains rather than the lead heroes. So I don't know what that says. I think on a planet like this where men outnumber women so heavily, there feels like there's going to be pockets of men, even in a matriarchy, that are angry about that,
No, I just got this idea, not that it's something bad, it's just a characteristic in this book.
Yeah.
Because one of the things that I thought was really, really interesting is that the Clecanians are very different from one another. I guess it's just like we are, like the skin color or the kind of hair and the color of eyes, but they have horns and wings, and the ones don't have anything or just the ears, kind of elves. That's really interesting. I think that's no prejudice in the way you look like.
Yeah. So I had the idea when I was doing the world building that the Clecanians, the planet that they live on is actually the second planet that they've lived on. So their original home planet, they lived there for a very long time and basically overrode the planet and made it uninhabitable, and then had to flee and find another planet. So they've been around for a long time. And my thought was that on this other planet early on in their existence, they oh gosh, what is the word for this? They took, DNA from animals and things in the places that they each, race lived, and they I can't remember the word for it, but they intermingled the DNA with their own DNA, and so they started to evolve to have different kind of features based on where they were and like the kind of experimentation that they were doing. So that's why some people have horns and some people have wings, because they have different DNA swirling around from their ancestors, from scientific experiment, basically.
Yes. Okay. So now there's a whole new set of questions. So it's not like some evolution, it's something they created.
Both. It's like a combination of evolution and not human, but scientific intervention. Yeah. Like they said, you know, how could we live better? What if we put some of this DNA in us so that we can see better at night, or so we can climb these mountains? And eventually, you know.
I believe she's worried about the baby birth.
Oh,
Because
I don't think that I have any questions, but there's this one. Will the baby have humans qualities? No. Will there be the father or the mother? I mean, the Clecanians or the humans?
I think it'll be a mix. I think it'll be a little mix of both. There is one baby that exists, spoilers, but or from who, but I think they look like a mix of their parents. So they would have characteristics for both, but I think like for certain people it might have a harder pregnancy, like wings, they probably are going to be looked at really closely with medical intervention if needed. Or like, I feel like size is going to be a big problem. These guys,
big problem. Yeah, big problem. Yeah, I can only imagine, because Theo is kind of human-y. He has some color and all, but he's nice.
Yeah,
I mean, big but nice. But I got thinking about the demon guy. That it's obvious a kind of character that's gonna come along. That she says he's so nice, even though he looks like a demon. And I thought, imagine a baby demon. How is this thing gonna come out? But the birth, really, the surgery or the natural birth?
I think probably. I think that more than the horns, because I think when baby horned animals are born, they don't really have
They don't have it will grow up.
Yeah, I feel like that part wouldn't be hard. But for Rhaego, the demon, the size would be hard. He's really big. So I feel like probably sci-fi C-section is going to have to be the way to do things. But they have a healing tube, so they'll just heal right after.
Yeah. Something I talked to Vanya about, that your world creation is really simple. We just read through it. There's not just super complicated science fiction explanations of ships and blah, blah, blah. There's nothing like that. And that's kind of nice, because it's just a romance. It's something, how can I say that? A feel-good romance.
Yeah.
You don't have to study something to get along with the story, and that's kind of nice.
It's a smooth reading.
Yeah, I heard somebody describe the feeling of fantasy and sci-fi as warm and cold. How when you think of fantasy, you think warm, you think cozy, fireplaces, and when you think sci-fi, you think cold, metal, space, science, math, you know what I mean? And I really didn't want, I think that that's not really true, and I didn't want my sci-fi to feel that way. I wanted it to feel accessible and loosely based in science, but still having some, like, you know, magical qualities, and hopefully it'll help more people, because I think a lot of people don't like sci-fi for that reason. They think it's going to be really cold and clinical, and I don't think that that's the case at all. So
that was, I was a bit surprised, because I was expecting something like over explained, and it's not. It's just glide along. Just fall in love with Theo. And
my husband, when I told him writing sci-fi romance, he was like, "Oh, so like astronauts fall in love? And I was like, no,
I don't know.
not astronauts.
No, Moira talk about the healing tube and the translator implant, but I would like to talk about the husbandry school. It's so nice because when the Clecanian man is 17 years old, they go to school to study how to be a good husband to their wives.
Yeah.
And they receive grades, and the grades are very important to be choose for a new wife.
Yep.
I would like you to talk about that. Where you have this idea to create a husband? Because it's very important. We should have this in our countries.
Yeah. Well, okay. So I thought the background, like I said, of this planet is that the men greatly outnumber the women, right? And it happened because a lot of the women died off. There was, this is a trope in sci-fi romance also, that there's a plague that killed a bunch of women, a mysterious plague, right? And I was thinking about how men would deal with a world like that versus how women would deal with a world like that if women were in charge. And I thought women and men might try and be structured about it and say, look, there's too many men. So how are we going to figure out who is deserving of helping us reproduce and helping our planet become better? And I think women set up this system to help men understand how they can attract a woman, how they can be the best that they can be. And I just thought that made sense. One other thing that is less, less interesting, but more real, I guess, is that on this planet where there's very few women and men don't really have access to women, and Theo, on top of that, is considered ugly and unappealing. How is he so good at sex and stuff? How is he still good at everything? And I was asking myself that because if he's never had access to anybody and he's never been able to try flirting or try doing any of these things or impressing a woman or, knowing what she might like to eat or any of that, how is he good at it automatically? Because I want him to be good at it. And so I thought, well, he went to school. That's why. He's learned how to do it.
Yeah, it's so cool. And
that was really fun.
Yeah, and you didn't put kisses. They don't know how to kiss.
Yeah.
It's marvelous because the women, the human women has the opportunity to teach a thing to them. So the first kiss is very important, guys.
Yeah, I think, one thing when I was doing this world building is, I don't know how much you could say an advanced society would not know. So I wanted Jade and humans to be able to bring some new and novel things to Clecania, but because they're so because Clecania is so much further along in their evolution with they have all this technology and they have this advanced society and they know about all these other planets. What could humans add to that? Oh, kissing.
The best thing.
Yeah. That part, remember me, I don't know if you read the book Yargo by Jacqueline Susan. They are a very advanced in technology people, and they don't have emotions anymore. So when a woman is abducted and stay there for a while, she teaches them how to feel again. So
spotlight.
I believe it's almost the same because the kiss, it's very important to a relationship.
Yeah, but it's very intimate too.
Yeah.
And they, in their marriages, the Clecanians, they try and stay away from that kind of emotional intimacy. So it makes sense that they don't really kiss as a part of that.
Maybe because their marriages are temporary.
Yeah, exactly. They're temporary. The women leave, so the women have a really hard time. I mean, so men go to husbandry
Leaving
school,
the
right?
children.
Yeah, but spoilers. Women go to school also, but they go to school to learn how to shut off their emotions, to control their emotions, how they can best move on from marriages, why they're so important, what they're doing, and why it's so important that it's kind of on their shoulders to repopulate their planet. So
I never thought they needed school too.
That's why
that makes total sense.
They're pretty
and
distant.
they needed to learn to give up of their sons.
Yeah.
That's very hard.
I mean, honestly, the women, that's one of, later on in the books, if you keep reading, I like to kind of sprinkle in the Clecanian women, their experience, just because I think it's really interesting and I think it's really sad, but they put on a really brave face all the time, so you don't always know, and you kind of feel sad for the men more, but the women have a lot to go through. And so I think something like kissing, pets, anything that builds that emotional bond, they try and stay away from in general, because it's just harder.
Yeah, there's the thing that she wouldn't want the dog inside the house, but she falls in love with the dog the minute he says she sees it.
Yeah.
So I would like to have 2 more questions. No, in fact, it's more, because I have a few questions from your readers. But in your country, fallen alien romance, it's a huge thing. And you have events for that, only for alien and monster romance.
Conventions and all.
Yeah, it's so cool. The pictures, I follow her on Instagram, so it's very cool.
That's the thing we don't have here.
Romance readers specifically are voracious. They want to read and read and read and read and read. So if they find something that they like, they're going to go and they're going to look for books that are like that from different people. A rising tide lifts all boats. Like, we are not in competition with each other. We are helping each other. Yeah. So I think authors sometimes forget that, because it is kind of, especially, if you don't have a lot of conferences or anything, it is a really solitary job. And you don't get to talk to other people, and you're kind of in your own head for really long stretches of time. And if you don't see other people and have that support system with other authors, so I think sometimes people
it's very lonely,
get in their own head about it.
Yeah, it's like, and the thing you're facing, like, you created a world, but then when your world arrives in our society here in Brazil, it gets a total new light, because people are different. They read the same thing differently.
Yeah.
And aside from the way we speak the names you created, like Rejo, and we say Rejo.
Yeah.
And Theo, and we say Theo.
Yeah.
And Jade, we say Jade.
Oh.
The things you created have a new flavor for us. I mean, the thing we create when we put out in the world belongs to the one who's reading.
Yeah.
We don't have any say on that.
Yeah, and it's interesting, different, because just technically, I can go onto my KDP dashboard and I can see in different countries, like, which countries are reading my books, and I can see for the translations how they're doing in different places. And it is really interesting to see which kind of topics or which genres or vibes of books land in different places, because there's some places who really like one book, and then there's another country like France who doesn't like that book at all. And it's just different, I think, with everyone's background and how you read the book and what you like about it and what you don't. It's so different based on where you live and how you grew up.
It's very interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
But
and so because of that, I'd like to know how your readers react when they met you at this event, and how you face the bad reviews and comments on your books, because I believe you receive a lot of, why are you writing and it's awful, you're delusional. How you face that?
Yeah. So for the signings, I love the signings, and I will say the events, I will say that they're pretty new, right? I mean, before 2020, you didn't really have that. I mean, you had like Comic-Con, right, which is for comic books, and then you have like a romance, the Romance Writers of America conference, but that was just for writers. There weren't like book only events like this where writers and readers come together. It would just be like an individual signing where one author is signing at a bookstore, right? But these events are huge, and I think they're so wonderful. And I think that specifically romance is who you have to thank for them, because that's why people are going, is the romance readers. And for monster romance specifically, those readers, monster romance readers, are the nicest people in the world. They like the freakiest stuff, and they're the nicest people. They're the sweetest. They're polite. They're rule followers. They're checking in on everybody else to make sure everyone around them is okay. They're the sweetest people. So I love meeting them. And in person, they're just so nice, and they're so excited, but they're also so polite. And a lot of readers and authors are introverts, right? So they're quiet, shy, maybe a little nervous. So it's really nice to just kind of like see everybody come out of their shell, because they're surrounded with everybody who has a like mind. So I love that. As for bad reviews, I don't read them. I don't go on Goodreads. I don't read my reviews. I have my assistant read to make sure. And if there's anything, if it's just a negative review, they won't tell me about it. If it's something that I need to look at, like there's a problem in the book somewhere, then they'll tell me about it. Otherwise, I don't look at them, because I don't, or if there's like a continuous pattern that I need to know about for future writing, then I will know. But otherwise, I don't see any benefit, especially for authors. I think we are such a sensitive bunch, and criticism is hard in any form, but I think it's especially hard when there's nothing that you can do about it. The book is out. It is what it is. And I can't change it, and people have different preferences, and you don't like it, but somebody else does. But I think authors, when they look at their reviews, they don't see 10 5-star reviews. They see the one 2-star review, and that's all they see, and there's nothing else. So to any author, I say, don't look at your reviews. Just don't. If you can have somebody else do it, have them do it. Yeah.
That's it.
Now, there's a difference, though, because sometimes they'll email me directly with their bad review. And then
I thought about that. If someone writes a bad comment in your social media saying what you write is horrible, or it's not important, or you're delusional because you put bad hope on your reader's mind, because you create I wouldn't say perfect man, but they are almost that.
Yeah.
Because every woman wants a man who cherish her all the time. So
like what people say, emotionally available.
So I believe it's very difficult, but go on. You're doing a great job, okay?
It was a great read.
Books. It's totally addiction, right, Moira?
I think
it is. I'm super curious.
I mean, they know that it's escapism, right? They know that it's fun and light, and it's not, I'm not writing a mandate for every man to act this way. It's just a fun escape for romance readers to enjoy. And I think romance readers understand that. And I actually don't get many messages saying you're delusional. I get messages saying, why did you do this in this book? They should be doing this. And so I get people who are really enthusiastically upset. Yeah. And I'm okay with that, actually, because I feel like if you had an emotional reaction to my book,
I always say that.
That's okay. It's more the bad reviews or the bad feedback that upsets me more are things that are different or more personal. Or like, I had one person say something like, if I don't learn one new word for every book that I read, then it wasn't worth it. And I was like, all right, I guess.
What a moron.
Yeah.
When the reader is so invested in your story that they can dictate laws, it's very rewarding, I guess.
Exactly, yeah. So
they got so into the story that they think they understand more than you do. That's fine. I guess.
Yeah.
And the best part, Victoria has a Patreon, so you can go there and buy cards.
Yeah.
I tried to buy them.
Yes, the characters.
I tried to buy the book with the vellums, but they weren't available anymore on your website. So I bought on Amazon.
Oh, was that recently?
Yeah, 2-3 months ago.
For a break. Like at the beginning of the year, we closed it for a break because it was getting hard to. Because I do it, I mail it.
Oh, come on.
So it takes a lot of time. We closed it for like a couple of months, so maybe it was then. It's open now.
So.
Yeah, but yeah,
because we are so eager about your books, we want to know when we'll have the next one.
I'm currently writing the first book in a different series, a new series, but that one is paranormal. And then after I do that one book, I'm going to go back and do the next Clecanian book. So I'm hoping by next year, hopefully I'll be able to go fast, but by next year, I'm still like 3/4 into writing this other book. So as soon as I'm done with that, I'm going to do the next Clecanian book.
Okay. And the last question is, the Brazilian readers love the printed book. They love to smell the book and have on their shelf. And they ask me when you will release the next one in print, because we have only Theo.
Yeah. So,
and they want the rest of the series.
I will tell my employee, also my husband, to. So that's one of the hard parts about this job. Being indie is that I have to do all of it myself, and covers are really tough because I can't, I have to get the translation and then I have to reformat everything. And when I'm trying, especially like now when I'm trying to finish a book, it just ends up being low on the priority list because the book is out. But now to do a physical book, and then people want the physical books in another language with the different cover. And it takes a lot of time to do all of that. And I don't have anybody that knows how to do it except for my husband, who has a job, So we're working on it. I promise that I'm working on it. And I will tell him that they have asked him specifically to do it.
Okay.
Here in Brazil, we say samba de uma nota só. There's a single note samba. That's the one person that does everything. So it's kind of what we do. Juggling juggling balls.
Yeah, and it's a lot of balls.
Yeah. Okay. So I believe we finished. So
Yes, we did.
almost 1 hour talking.
Yeah, I can put you in the screen so you can leave a message to Brazilian readers.
Oi, hello, readers from Brazil. It's so nice to see you. I'm Victoria Aveline, and I just wanted to say thank you so much for reading my books. I hope that you love them, and I hope that you love the translation. Vanya is amazing at translation, and I'm so glad that she could bring my books to you. Thank you so much.
So thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you, Victoria.
Bye-bye.
See you.